And so you make
For a label,
one record for
us.
yourself, and then the next record you make for people who like that record. And then you are in this quagmire where it's like, well, I've progressed 2 steps in my taste, but everyone else still thinks I'm over here. But there was a middle step. When I made that record for them, there was a middle step where I was somewhere else. So if you're always making records for yourself, it's a really natural process.
And it evolves naturally.
Yeah.
If for us individual songwriters, just a different kind of question, we stick it on songwriting here.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one other songwriter other than your brothers to write with, to co-write, who would it be? Just go down.
Oh my gosh. I think, and I'm not gonna steal Ike's, though I would probably say Billy Joel, and that's what he's gonna say.
No, actually, I wasn't necessarily going to say that, but
As a craftsman, I would say I think I would learn the most from Billy, and he's still like I would say Brian Wilson, but Brian, I'm not sure. You need a longer time to really pull it out.
Yeah.
But Brian Wilson's melodic sense, I mean, he's famous for that. He's a genius. He's recognized as a genius. But as a piano player,
as a lyricist, Billy Joel
as
is
a
an
lyricist
insane
player,
lyricist.
I would love to just you would take everything from him.
Well, who would you say?
Well, I mean, Billy Joel is definitely high on everybody's list and probably is number 1 and for most of us. Just because of those realities of Taylor, craftsmanship of songwriting and lyrics and everything. It's really hard for me because I would say it's a tie for me between Chuck Berry and Bill Withers. For different reasons. Chuck Berry for lyrical skill because he was always a really good poet.
Rock and roll poet.
Perfect English.
Yeah.
Never had slang in
It
his
doesn't
songs.
say gonna, wanna, shoulda.
Yeah, it's always.
I want to test. Everything is perfect.
And it was C'est la vie, c'est the old folks. It go to show you never can tell. That whole song is amazing. I mean, the lyrics in that song are just brilliant.
But it feels like a party.
Exactly, but it feels like a party. And honestly, one of his most famous songs, probably the most famous song of his, Johnny Be Good. I mean, that is a perfectly told story.
Yeah.
And it has hook. And then Bill Withers for vibe, and for heart, and for like intensity. I mean, I wish I could sing like he can.
That's like you took the.
No.
So I mean, like I feel like those 2 guys to me are the quintessential. I can't really pick between the 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting because, I mean, obviously those are amazing songwriters, but the first person I think of is Paul Simon. Just because I just think the reinvention of who he's been with records, even now I hear stuff he does now and just go, this is so cool. You're still pushing yourself in ways that I feel like a lot of people they just kind of stop.
Yeah.
Isn't it The Afterlife? Isn't that the song off the...
Anyway, one of his
Gotta
last
get in
records.
line first.
Yeah, he's just great.
Yeah, he's like 70 years old and
But
still
that's-
going in brand new directions. He is incredible. I would agree with you.
And you're talking about great lyricists. I mean, he's probably the best living American songwriter.
Him and Billy
Lyrics,
Joel
just-
are probably tied.
But you know what? With
Billy
Paul Simon, though,
tells stories.
Yeah.
Paul says things in a way that you go, what?
makes
That
you
was
think.
the
Makes
coolest
you
way to
think,
say
yeah.
Well,
that.
Paul wakes up and still goes to work. I mean, doesn't he? He has an office at a real building.
Yeah, he's a
and
craft
he
kind of
he
guy.
sits and
You
writes.
know, sits and writes.
He goes and
exactly.
sits and writes.
Exactly. So you have been writing some songs. We talked about fans and we talked about songwriting, and we were talking just before you guys came onto the stage. You're talking about a new EP that
Yeah.
you're working on. That's a kind of a fan club only kind of thing. Talk about that.
Well, that's part of the service. We talked about having an ongoing music
Yeah.
relationship with your fans. We started doing this thing 10 years ago where we do a songwriting retreat and we get about 15 writers together, and it kind of charges us. We spend 4 days and we
Did you get
put
other
people-
songwriters?
Yeah,
Other
we spent
songwriters
other
and
songwriters.
Vocals?
No, all over the world. I mean, just
Nice.
songwriters from all over the country. And this time we had a couple members of Courtyard Hounds, Dixie Chicks, Emily Robinson, Marty McGuire, and Ben Queller was there. A lot of great people. Right after that retreat, we were so charged that we went into creating this latest EP because we've been in this mode of fast writing.
Yeah,
you wake
yeah.
up every day, you pair up with a couple of friends or new people that you've kind of invited to this camp, and you write and record a song every day, at least one.
Yeah.
And so on the EP we started writing, and in those 2 days we wrote four songs. And so this EP is, and that's fast is not always good, but sometimes when you're in the mode of productivity, you can accomplish that.
Well, I think the way that fast is good is this particular
Don't
thing.
overthink it.
You don't overthink it, but more importantly, though, you have to chase the path of least resistance, which is not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily create the best song, but if you follow that path of least resistance with the focus of we are going to make this the best thing it can possibly be, all of a sudden you're like, wow, that was just riddled with passionate energy, and we all knew where we were going really quickly because we weren't trying to make a song idea into something that it wasn't.
Right.
What it produced is an EP that is just really, really eclectic.
Really
Yeah, with
eclectic.
all those other songwriters, other songs that you produced, I mean, there must have been influences and ideas floating all over the place.
yeah.
Is the sound different? Is the idea different than anything we've heard from you guys in the
Yeah,
past?
I mean, again, if you really know that, if you know Hanson Records, it's probably not as out there as we think it would be from outside the bubble, but it spans. It literally, the first song is a song that could be a Crosby, Stills and Nash song, and
Absolutely.
then you've got
3 guitars and 3-word harmony from top to
almost a
bottom.
4-piece Weezer style, heavy rock song, and then you've got a sort of Michael Jackson inspired rhythmic, song,
Dance song.
a dance song.
Yeah.
What is the other?
The other one is it's some sort of Brit rock, I think.
It's like spooky Brit pop rock.
It's sort of like the
We can't define it.
a pop compilation of styles of music.
It's like Travis and the Verve mixed with spookiness of Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
There you
I
go.
mean, the thing is,
Chad Burton.
and then we go all the way to Southern Soul with a little bit of like Al Green.
oh, that's right.
type
The
of
last song is
vibe.
all right. It
Yeah.
literally is a smorgasbord of songs. It's 5 songs, and every.
It sounds like 5 different
Well,
bands.
what really connects him with us is you talk about this idea of fueling your fans and bringing people along on your journey. You know that there are different levels of fans. There are people who are catching you just at that top level when you're on big TV or when you're having a hit record, and then there are people in the middle who come to your shows, but maybe they only buy every couple records, or they realize you have a record when they see you're in town. And then there are those other people who are following you, looking for when that next. And so we sort of think of the EPs as a way to share these other sides of our band.
Yeah.
Where you share those songs that might have only ended up on the White Album for the
right,
Beatles. So you're like, we're gonna do,
Half
Yellow
the White
Submarine,
Album.
and it's gonna be for the people who really want that, and that allows you to get all those kind of experiences sort of clear your mind for the best version of yourself when you're introducing for the first time to that new fan.